that they all embrace you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that my husband and I and all of the people that I know that listen to your music embrace you.
Absolutely.
They love that
Yeah.
you're Tito Puente Jr.
Yeah.
and that there's someone keeping that
torch,
special legacy
yeah.
alive.
Absolutely,
you know?
absolutely. It was so funny because at my father's funeral, I cried so much, and I just felt the love coming from the people. And it wasn't just Hispanic. It was Italian, Jewish, Black, Chinese, every color, every race, every creed. And they all had some love for Dad. And to me, my father was almost like your Tio. You know, he was like your Tio and your uncle and your, you know, it's like you could say, Tito Puente, oh, he's the godfather. And, you know, we all loved him, you know.
Yeah.
He was somebody you could look up to. He was an icon. He was a hero. And I'm feeling that love when I perform his music and when I continue to keep his music alive, and then when I share my stories, you know, of having children, and I named my son Junior, and it just, I want everybody to know that you guys are family. You know, all the fans are family. We are one big family, and we will always perform and play and record this music para la gente, para los bailadores, for the dancers and the fans.
Amen.
That's what we do it for.
And I ask that you never stop. Please never stop. So Tito, what particular song best describes you? Is there a song out there, something that you might have composed or arranged that describes who you are?
Oh, wow. Well, I don't think it would be a song that I arranged or I composed. It'd probably be, you know, other songs. No, I mean, they're, as far as like lyrically, something that I can compare myself to, I don't know. I think most of the Tito Puente songs that my father wrote back in the 1950s and 60s, they don't apply to me being born, because I was born in the 70s. So I look at music for what it was when I was growing up. So, you know, to me, I love all the Michael Jackson hits and, you know, all the Genesis songs and Rush and all those groups. But yeah, it's just like some of my favorites. But you know, as far as like the music that I've been performing or something that I've been performing, I think all the songs that I did on my last album, which was in Los Pasos de mi Padre, was In My Father's Shoes. All those songs represent Tito Puente. And to me, I'm now the representative of the Puente family and the Puente legacy. So every one of those songs means something when I perform them. I always feel my father's spirit. Ran Can Can being one of them from 1949, one of his first recordings. And still to this day, when I perform that song, it feels like it was just made.
Yeah.
It'll never go out of style. It'll never expire. It's not one of these Macarena songs where they're here today and gone tomorrow, a fad. It's one of those songs that are timeless. Yeah. It just sounds so advanced back then. Even today, like the arrangement, like, wow, that's just amazing why the song will never fade.
And I'm so glad for that, you know.
Yeah.
I really am.
Some music just stands the test of time.
It does.
I Will Survive, like Gloria Gaynor, is one of those songs that will stand the test of time. It'll be here for our grandkids. They'll still love the tune.
Yeah.
So, it's
especially
great.
our granddaughters.
Yeah.
Now, the song Oye Cayuco, can you explain what the message is in that song? I get so into it when I hear it, but I would love to know what it means.
According to Jose Madera and Johnny Rodriguez, who were two original Tito Puente orchestra members, the tune El Cayuco was written back by my father back in 1957 on the Dance Mania album. And according to them, I never really asked my dad what it meant, because he never really had an answer for anything. He was just like, look, you like the music, that's it, just enjoy it. El Cayuco means la cuadra, like a square guy who leans up on the wall. And I guess back then, it was a guy that was afraid to dance with women on the dance floor, the Palladium. So El Cayuco would be a guy leaning up on the wall, looking around, like, oye, Cayuco, oye, mi cha-cha-cha, que se baila mi cha-cha-cha. So it would be the singer telling the guy, get up and get on the dance floor and dance with the girl. So I think it meant like a square guy.
Right.
You know,
wow. I'm so glad I asked you that question, because I'm sure
this
a
is
lot
according
of young...
to them. I don't know really what it means, but I love the cha-cha-cha. So.
And it'll be the answer for a lot of young folks out there who wanted to.
What's a cayuco?
Cayuco. Now I know. I'm so happy I asked you. So, who were your favorite role models from early in your life outside of the music realm? Were there any, or, you know?
Wow, role models. Well, I guess my mom would be definitely one. You know, my brother. You know, he was a great role model to me. All my teachers in high school and in college. I think teachers get a bad rap for not being good role models. I think they're some of the best in the world. And, I have I think all the national presidents and it's funny, most of my favorite role models were musicians, but they were more like friends too. So to me, that friends that were close to me were actually the better role models than anything else in the world, So, my father definitely was one, and my mom, and to me, I think family is the best role model you could possibly have.
Yeah.
They'll teach you the right directions, what's right from wrong, good and bad.
Did you ever have the opportunity to meet Celia Cruz or any of those guys, that's contemporaries?
She was in some sort of magical way. She was my godmother to me and my sister Audrey and my brother Ronnie, and she was a part of our life, a very integral part of our lives. Her and Pedro Knight. They were very close to my dad. They were very close to our family, and we loved them very dearly. And Celia never had children. And so we could have been like the surrogate children of Celia Cruz. But it was nice to be around them. To me, it was like being around my tia, my aunt, and she was just a wonderful woman. And even though I didn't understand her too much, I grew up speaking English, and she was very, very Cuban. But it was great, and I just felt her presence all the time. And she always gave my family, my mom, and all of us respect, and we miss them dearly. She was an icon in her own right, just an amazing, amazing voice. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. World will never see another Celia Cruz for a very long time.
Let me ask you a question, and this borders on the spiritual realm. Mm-hmm. Does any of your music ever convey, or do you think it will ever convey a kind of spiritual message of any sort? Or do you feel that it already does? Or
I think it already does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it already does. When you're playing percussion, especially Afro-Cuban music, and that's what we're doing, or that's what I'm doing here. Afro-Cuban music has the spiritual foundations from Africa. And it goes into the island of Cuba, and then my father brought it to Puerto Rico and then into New York and combined all of it into like a Latin mambo jazz style. But you just put on any Tito Puente record and you will feel spiritually connected to the record. There's no doubt about it. I don't care who you are. If you play a Tito Puente record, you're going to dance in your car, in your shower, or wherever you're at, in the gym. You're going to feel it. And I think that is the spiritual connection. And that only comes not just from Tito Puente, but it comes from the Afro-Cuban rhythm. Mm-hmm. It's the campana, timbal, bongo, conga. It's the rhythm together, and the piano and the bass. That 5 pieces of instrumentation is really what's going to spiritually bring you into the music. Everything else is swing.
It's true.
Everything else is swing, but it's that rhythm that my father, like when you see him perform, you spiritually get attached to him as well. It's just the magic of Latin music. It's our Latin roots. Everybody wants to be Latino.
It's so true, because you hear dun 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 dun. That's it. It's over.
Everybody wants to be Latino. Even the hip hop guys working with that, and everybody wants to be Spanish or have that Spanish flavor because it drives the body to do spiritual dancing.
That brings to mind that your dad performed at the, I think it was the House of Congress or the House of the Senate, the House of Senate, something like that in Washington. He had some kind of an honorary seat there, and from what I understand, by some kind of a special request, there was a session, and they actually had him come in to play the timbales, and he's playing the timbales during this session over in Washington, in the most unlikely of places.
Right.
And I was just thrown for a loop when I read that, because
he has attracted so many, so respected. I think the story that I heard, I think my mom mentioned or some other musicians that went on with him. He went to Indonesia Jakarta, I think was the city. And he performed with some Indonesian drummers. And over there, the music is so intricate, and it's a different time. It's like a 6/8 time. And Dad flew right in there, and they were just performing for him. And he got up and started playing their drums. Like